Hi, guys. We are live. Welcome to the lunch break here at Fish North Georgia this Thursday, November 20th. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope you're not working too hard. Hope you get a lunch today. Some days you got to work right through it, right? Making all that money, but still, hope everybody's doing good. Got a pretty interesting group of topics today that I want to discuss with you guys. This is the last lunch break of the week because tomorrow morning I'm getting up, I'm going hunting. Then I got some work to do around the house. Got those kind of things to do, getting ready for the Toys for Tots tournament and all that. And some other things. So anyway, appreciate you guys joining us today. See a couple of you right there on TikTok. Hope you guys are doing good as well. One of these days, I'm going to get a better camera that sits up here for TikTok so you don't have to look at me so up close and everything. Want to take care of a few things of business real quick. Of course, hey, listen, Sonar Pros, they got $400 off Black Friday sale of select Garmin products. And listen, while you're there, go ahead and treat yourself to the best installation in the business. You better hurry up because pros are trying to get their boats ready for 26, and Trent is going to get really busy rigging up all the pros. So listen, take your boat where the pros take it, and that's Sonar Pro. Black Friday sale. Tell them Danny sent you. And, of course, we got our Toys for Tots, December 6th at a Laurel Park, $5,000 first place prize. Let me take that down. $5,000 first place prize to the winner. It's an $80 entry fee. 60 of that goes to the pot for places second on down, depending on how many boats, 20 to big fish. One unwrapped toy per angler. Had a couple of guys already sign up again this morning. You can pre-register through the end of next week. And then we're going to cut it off. And if you don't get signed up, you can do it at the ramp that morning. But it's for the Hall County and Pickens County Toys for Tots. Want to help them out. Put some smiles on some children's faces. And doing something similar is our friends up here. That's the wrong one. Let me hit the right one. There we go. Blue Ridge Marine Fill a Boat Toy Drive. What they're collecting up there is toys, sports items, books, stocking stuffers. You can do cash donations. You can drop them off at Blue Ridge Marine, 12166 Morganton Highway, Morganton, Georgia, of course. And I think it's 30560. Looks like a typo on the right there on the zip code. But hey, listen, same thing. Make some people happy. And, of course, after all this is done, go ahead and plan for December 20th. It's a Sunday. Lake Hartwell Gum Branch Mega Ramp. It's a benefit fishing tournament for Hunter Piling and his family. He is dealing with an inoperable cancerous brain tumor. And especially at this time of the year, we all know, just how the holidays can go one way or the other, right? Especially when you're dealing with something like that. We want to make sure we can try to help out that family. There's going to be some raffles. Some pros are giving away half-day trips. Emil Wagner is one of them. If you want more information, Greg Cullum, 706-371-1120. Courtney Cullum, 706-491-5379. Or Jesse, I believe it's Elder, might be Eider, 706-202-7436. Again, anytime you have a chance to fish a charity tournament, benefit tournament, or something to help somebody else, those are the best. Those are the best because you can do it. You can fish, do what you love to do, and help somebody out. So let's see. Comment section. Jeff Brazil, what's up? Aaron, Coleman, Tyler, Tracy Coker, Coleman Jones again. Let's see. Tyler, got some scary news about my mom, but praying it's nothing bad. Tyler, anything you need for us, just let me know. Whether it's prayers, whether it's, some support. If I need to go to the hospital with you, sit down, whatever it might be, I don't know. But I understand about getting scary news. And again, you can hit me later off the air if you want to tell me what all's going on. And of course, hey, we're family here, right? We will help you through it. So I got an interesting couple of things that crossed my mind for this one, especially being the last one. And Thanksgiving's next week, but I know a lot of people their Thanksgiving traditions start this weekend because of extended families and everything. We'll be getting together, I believe, with one side of my family on Sunday. But I just want to know a couple of things. If you guys have like any specific holiday traditions that you like to do, you know what I mean? And also, too, do you believe turkey or ham or whatever? We kind of talked about that a little bit last week. I'll tell you one thing. I'll eat just about anything. I'm doing low carb this year, so I'm going to hit the meat a little bit more than normal. I won't be partaking of all the beautiful casseroles that I normally do this Thanksgiving. But I still, to this day, 53 years old, when I see somebody get that cranberry jelly or whatever the hell that stuff is, and it comes out of the can and it's still got the can rolls and everything in it, I think that's of the devil. I just think that's of the devil. That and Jello with bits of fruit and stuff in it. There's certain things that ought not be desserts. Um, but I'm not going to eat them anyway this year. But there's certain things like that. Do you guys do that? How do you celebrate Thanksgiving with your family? Is it a Thanksgiving particular just that day? Do you go back and forth between others? Also, too, are you like me? Thanksgiving, once I have that lunch, it's all about football. It's all about football the rest of the day. Tyler says, Turkey man, fried turkey. What's up? Ham for Christmas, though. We do pork, collard greens, cornbread, and black eyed peas on New Year's, too. We do that. Now, my mom always, and she cooks the hell out of collard greens because me and my brother are so daggum poor. I mean, you know what? Every year I eat more and more and more collard greens because that's supposed to be dollars, right? That's what it represents. It ain't working. Now, I am not a fan of the black eyed pea. I do like the pork, though. And I really do like cornbread as well. But again, I'm going to try to lose weight, try to get healthy. Just going to use carnivore or low carb, however you want to call it. I'm not one of those snobs going, I'm doing carnivore. And you people that eat sugar are just, I ain't doing that crap. But, that's what's going on. Tracy Coker, I usually do a Smirky smoked turkey. This year, I think I'm doing the breast in the crock pot. Saw a cool recipe for it. I think that would be pretty cool. The best football games are Black Friday, GA versus GT, and Texas versus Texas A&M. Dane Hunter, 100%, dude. 100%. Now, Dave Aldridge, of course, Dave says this, with cranberry sauce out of the can and Jello with fruit. Yeah, listen. It's just certain things. Now, I will say this. How many of you guys eat that? Is it a pear that's got the mayonnaise and the cheese with a little cherry on top? I used to think that was gross. But I think with the right mayonnaise, it works, right? Black Friday football will feed families. Yeah, for sure. Jeremy Conkright, my buddy up in Kentucky. Deep fried turkey, mashed taters, stuffing gravy, and a chocolate pie, and I'm good. I just don't know about the cranberry sauce. I'm being honest. Pear salad, Dana. Do you guys eat pear salad? Now, I'll eat it now that I'm grown. I think COVID might have put the taste for it in my mouth, but when I was little, no way. Coleman says, I'm crashing out at my family's Thanksgiving because my fantasy team sucks. I've never got into the fantasy, whether it's fantasy fishing, fantasy football, any of that stuff. My son plays it. His wife plays it. It ain't half bad. My mom makes it from scratch. Okay. Now, Wild Turkey 101 will make you gobble, gobble, gobble. Yeah, I told you that night. No more from me. I've cut it off. No more. I'm going to abstain because I get goofy and I do things that I shouldn't do. No more. I'm going to be good. It's nothing but coffee, water, Pepsi Zero, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper Zero, stuff like that. What's up, Geiger? Fruit's gross. But Dane loves that pear salad and all that. My mom used to make, and this is what it's called, these Japanese fruit pies. And I always thought they was ass growing up. And I probably still do. I'm not eating it. I always thought they were just like, ugh. How many of you guys get that? What is that log you can start seeing at Ingles now? It's from South Georgia. Claxton's fruitcake. You guys eat fruitcake? I have to admit, pre-COVID, no way. Post-COVID, I like it. But you talking about dense and calorie heavy. So again, I won't be eating none of that this year. Kefir-fueled live streams would be epic. No, you don't want to see that either. You don't want to see that either at all. How many of you guys are going to go fishing Thanksgiving weekend? Now, I saw that we're supposed to have a big temperature drop post-Thanksgiving. Alcoholic, no, but I've called people fruitcakes, no doubt. I know, right? Fruitcake is for serial killers. That stuff is whack. Dave, I guess, eats. He's got a little Cajun in him. I know he's from Mississippi now. He's close enough. Eats some weird stuff. Just listen. Anytime you put some concoction that's supposed to be cranberry sauce in a can, you open it up and slide it out, and it still has the rings of the can on it. Okay, it makes you wonder what percentage of that is cranberry, what percentage of it is gelatin, what percentage of it is anything else. And it just looks unnatural. Just looks unnatural to me. I think me and Coleman are supposed to fish Saturday after, and I'm trying to fish Sunday too. There you go. There's a Thanksgiving Day tournament here. Thanksgiving Day? Wow, there you go. Hey, listen, if you don't like your family, you don't want to hang around with them, you might as well go fishing. Fishing and crappies for dinner. I like it. I like that. Let's see. Dane says it's not Thanksgiving with ham, turkey dressing, green bean casserole, deviled eggs, gelatin, cranberry sauce, pear salad, and chocolate cake. He's got the menu at the Hunter household. Jeremy Cockrat says 150 boats will show up for their Thanksgiving Day tournament. Hey, listen, if we're honest, some of you guys have families you just don't want to hang out with, especially when you start bringing in cousins, the hairy-lipped aunt, the uncle that doesn't talk to nobody, might be dealing with some, problems. And then the odds of somebody getting in an argument in your family over Thanksgiving dinner, I mean, it's 50%. I mean, you got a shot, right? What's up, John Aldred? Cranberry sauce is just like jelly. That's all. I know, but who the hell eats jelly with like turkey and all that? Or how about just cranberry jelly? Now, if I want some jelly, I want some muscadine. I want some grape, apple jelly. I don't want no cranberry jelly. That stuff will pucker up my, if you ever drink cranberry juice, you know that pucker I'm talking about because it's kind of tart. Black Friday tournament on Allatoona. Yeah, Black Friday I get. I fished a Black Friday tournament on Lanier with Josh Bales a few years ago. Had a great time on that. On Thanksgiving, I'm smoking a ham, mac and cheese, and probably some jalapeno poppers. Now, that's a man after my own heart, them jalapeno poppers. And I can have those on my diet. Jeff says Thanksgiving with family, then head to the lake house Thursday. Then might get in a Black Friday tournament this year. Yeah, Black Friday, totally good. I'm just crazy. Jeremy was talking about just a huge tournament on Thanksgiving Day. But why not, right? I was going to fish the No Wake Nation Black Friday tournament, but I'm going to the dugout to drop some coin. And you can do it. And you know what? The dugout is a good place to drop some coin. 100%. Tracy, I love you, dude. You and I are buddies. You know that. I don't care that you say that cranberry sauce is good. Danny Crossbreak, new show. No, I mean, I do one at lunch 3 days a week. We call it the lunch break. It's just me bloviating about whatever I woke up and is on my mind. So sometimes it's fishing. Sometimes we don't even talk fishing on the show. We might talk hunting one day. It's just whatever crosses my mind. And I don't do it on Mondays. That's my day to do other stuff. Fridays, unless I feel like it, I don't do one on Fridays either. We'll just have to see because I need a couple of days to do some things. I'll fish Christmas Day to avoid doing family stuff. Hey, I get it. FNG. Okay, so the name change. There's a name change, Danny Crossbase. Everything's going back to Fish North Georgia for now. It just has to do a little bit with the company split. And then eventually all of this is getting rebranded. And that'll be coming up closer to Christmas. And you guys will see that. But it'll still be the same stuff. Nothing's going to change. And we're adding a bunch of good stuff. Now, Dane says domestics are higher on Thanksgiving. The family has forgotten all the disagreements. With Christmas just around the corner, families remember what happened at Thanksgiving. Now, so he is a police officer. So when he says domestics, that means they have to go to more calls, people. Because you get family together, crap can happen, right? Especially when somebody don't cook a turkey right. I think turkey's overrated. Now, I like sliced turkey. If you do some Cajun seasoning or something, I'll give it that. But if you just do just a regular old turkey, I mean, to me, turkey's like leather. It's like chewing on leather. Now, here goes John. John is awesome. Him and Amy. We're volunteering with Meals on Wheels on Thanksgiving Day, then Family Thanksgiving on Saturday. John, interesting thing. My wife does that, Meals on Wheels. She does that for some Dawson County and for Scythe County families. And it's a pretty cool thing. I've rode with her and everything. That's good stuff right there. Michael Stevens, I'm smoking one in the pellet smoker this year. I wonder how that is. Let me know, because I was sitting there looking. I was at the store the other day, and I looked at a pellet smoker. And I was like, I didn't pull the trigger. But I thought about it, since it is one of those things that if you get the right one, you can just crank it up, walk away, and it self-regulates, right? So I thought about it. I don't know. We'll have to see. How do you like your pellet smoker? Listen, John Aldridge, guys, listen. If you don't know John and Amy, okay, if you don't know John and Amy, there's good people, and then there's good people. You know what I'm saying? Most time I fry one, trying something different this year. I do like fried turkey. Fried turkey, I'm okay with. That just sticking one in the daggum oven at 375 or whatever for 12 hours. No, not me. Aquaholic. I'm putting inventory in for the place, food warehouse, and just reached cranberry. So they do some. Is it still Aquaholic? Are you guys still with the North Georgia Food Bank, or is the place something different? I know you and your wife do a lot of that work, and I think that's fantastic what you guys do. Carp casserole. No, no carp casserole. If y'all got to fight, Messick Outdoors, listen, everybody, this is true, 100%. Now, I ain't crazy about people recording fights. I think you should break it up. But if you find yourself recording a fight this holiday season, make sure you turn your phone sideways and get it horizontal because it formats better on YouTube and other things. When you do it straight up and down and you try to load it up, lots of times you got the black bars beside you. It creates a mess. Turn it horizontal. Turn it horizontal. His wife runs the North Georgia Food Bank. I had to leave for her promotion and now run a food warehouse. Hey, you know what? That's right. You couldn't have none of that loving going on right there when you get to upper management, right? And food warehouse for the place. A lot of places are like that. I would hate to work Thanksgiving, let alone splitting some domestics for sure. I used to have to do that. I worked at a grocery store. I did that. Are you going to make some drum dressing? Ugh. But I will say this: how many of you guys have had oyster dressing? Oyster dressing. It's legit. Oyster anything is good. Oyster dressing is absolutely legit. Ken Goins, our boss makes us a smoked meatloaf. Oh, yes. Now that's a fat boy's dream right there. I would take it over turkey, ham, and any meat. He retired, but he's bringing a smoked meatloaf for our Christmas dinner. Yeah. You know what? Kent, I'm writing that down. Your idea just gave me something. Now I have smoked like bologna and stuff like that. I have not smoked a meatloaf, but I'm salivating at the thought. Electric green eggs, the acorns are nice. Yeah, I mean, I've got that. I got my Traeger for free from my Zen rewards. Aaron, how many packs of Zens do you have to go through to get a Traeger? Now, my father, I talked about my father-in-law last couple of episodes. Bill, he was a Marlboro guy. Probably what ended up taking him out. But he was a Marlboro guy. He had he'd get the little stamps and all that. He had the Marlboro jacket, the Marlboro duffel bag. He had everything but a daggum, you know, mid-80s Monte Carlo with Marlboro on the side of it. So he was like that. But how many cans of Zen does it take to get a Traeger? You have my respect on that. Even though I wish it was Copenhagen. I do Copenhagen rewards, but they just want to send me some beef jerky, man. They don't want to give me that kind of stuff. Dane said, years ago, I didn't know better and cooked the turkey upside down. The breast was so moist, I've cooked it upside down every year since. Dane, you might have accidentally come up with something right there. And sometimes the greatest things that we ever find out in life or people discover are by accident, right? That might be the way you need to cook your turkey is upside down because that is true. Now, I guess all the fat and everything renders down. So for sure, another one, upside down turkey. Zen Rewards is nuts. Smoked meatloaf is amazing. I need to make one again. I have a Pit Boss 850C pellet smoker and I love it. Alan Pruitt. Yeah, dude, that's a good one. That's a really good one. What's up, Far Dog? I ain't seen you in a while. Okay, it took him about 3 years of collecting Zens to get him a Traeger. Now, you're going to buy the Zens anyway. But if you figure up the cost of the Zens, that Traeger is probably about a, $8,000 smoker right now. But hey, listen, I mean, you might as well do something. I went to the store and got 3 cans today for tonight and tomorrow and everything. Coleman said, I worked at a Christmas tree farm on Thanksgiving, and we would guilt trip people into big tips. Best day of the year, 100%. You got to, you know, you got to use that to its advantage. Okay. I remember working at a grocery store. I worked at the Big Star in Cumming and at the Ingles for a while and all that. The Ingles was the big on collard greens and stuff like that. People coming in Thanksgiving morning for the, or was it the morning of? Hell, I can't remember. One of them holidays, they'd come in and it was crazy for about 2 or 3 hours. Everybody's buying that last minute stuff. I don't have one, but my brother has one. He's got it hooked to his phone, can turn his on and off when he's leaving from work and the food's ready by the time he gets home. Yeah, that's technology, right? But is that block it approved? Kind of cheating, Jeremy. That's kind of cheating. That you can control your smoker and everything from your phone. That's kind of cheating, if you ask me. I would do it. Kind of cheating. Hunter, you got to listen. My daughter's a nurse, so I understand that. He's working Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I know. I hate that. I hope you get double time. Mullet muffins. No, Patricia, we'll not do that. Let's see. I'm just scrolling. Got to catch up. Tried Zens once. Not my thing at all. Saves me money, I guess. Every once in a while you see me with them. But I got to put 3. And I got to get the 9 milligram like owns or ones. I mean, it's got to be strong. Alan says I can control my pit boss from my phone. Dude, you're lazy. No, listen, I get it. I totally get it. But that's, how things have changed, right? Imagine when we were in the 80s and 90s, we never thought we would be able to do this. Now, let me ask you this question, guys. All right, so look, I want to know, I want a serious conversation. And I want you guys to be dead serious. With all the cheating scandals going on and everything, I don't want to talk about necessarily the cheating. Let me take Jeremy's comment down. I don't want to talk about cheating. Tyler, 6 milligram will put you in a coma. Dude, I can do 3 of them at one time. Age, man. I'm a strong old man. Here, serious question. When it comes to cheating, do you guys honestly think that the public deserves to know everything? Or why do we want to? We want to know all the details on it because at the end of the day, these I don't know that Coca-Cola, if an employee fails something or something like that, they put out all the details. In other businesses, if somebody gets fired or something or fails a poly, they don't put out all the details. Why do we think we deserve it? And I'm just talking about us, the general public. Why do a lot of people feel like we deserve an explanation from Bass, from MLF, NPFL, or any fishing organization when they catch somebody cheating? Why is it with fishing that we seem to go beyond the norm? You get what I'm saying? We go beyond the norm and like we want to know we want to know the questions, and then we start accusing. I'm just going by comments that I read. Or is it the fact that anglers are contract workers for a company that failed the rule by whatever, got caught, got fired, whatever it is? You see what I'm saying? Why do we feel like we deserve to know? The coffee flavored Zens are not good. I just find it interesting, and I've seen a lot of, episodes, guys putting it out on social media, and it's transparency with Bass, transparency with all these things. It's probably because folks want to know what to look out for in local tournaments. Maybe. Because cheating, failed polygraph test is drama, and social media is all about drama, and it kind of keeps fishing relevant in the social media world. Perhaps. Cheater and a skeeter, Patricia says. But I was just watching it, and I was watching a video last night. It was an older one, but it says, it was talking about transparency with these situations, and it just crossed my mind, and I'm like, why the hell does Bass owe me an explanation? Yes, I watched their stuff. Yes, I followed their employee, contract workers, whatever you want to call them. But does Bass really owe me an explanation if they found somebody doing something wrong and decided to suspend them? Same with MLF. Do we deserve to know, or is it just we're nosy as hell and we want to know? It's getting to the point with the no info rule that these pros will need to live in a plastic bottle during the season. And you know what, DP, that was honestly, and I said it yesterday, that's honestly one of the reasons that I am going to stop drinking. It ain't because I can't handle my liquor. I mean, I can do that. But it was, I got really juiced up the other night with Seth because it was Seth Fighter. And nothing happened. There was nothing like that. But my mindset was not on him. My mindset was on me wanting to say what I had to say. And it could have accidentally hurt him. And it did. Nothing got said. But you know what? Even Clint goes, Danny, no, because I mentioned a certain lake's name. And I got to thinking about that, last night and everything. And I was like, damn, think about how they have to walk the line if they really want to be legit. How in every day there's something like that happening. Just conversations that they've got to withdraw themselves. I was at a men's, our Thursday morning men's group up there at Mary's Bread Basket. And we were talking about it this morning. And these guys, they don't fish. They don't fish. I mean, they do, but they don't fish like we do and you guys do. And I was having to explain to them what a pro angler has to go through, with these no info rules. Kenway126, do you think the BFLs are going to be worth fishing in 2026? I think 2026 will be a very telling year. I don't fish the BFLs, but from afar, I'll be just watching how the co-angler policing situation kind of goes. You know what I'm saying? Kind of that. What's up, Cletus? Randy B should be the only person allowed to buy waypoints. Listen at you. Yes, Coleman says this. Yes, if they're going to make a public announcement, you could be bordering on defamation if not. I don't know. It is getting ridiculous. It's because anyone who's into fishing is a very detail-oriented sicko person. We are. And Cletus, we're talking about the info rules and stuff like that. The question is, as the public, do we deserve to even know what well, let me rephrase that. I think a lot of people feel like they deserve to know what's going on in the corporate world, what's going on in the decisions making up at corporate headquarters, all the details of the infraction, the co-angler's name, the polygraph question, the questions on the polygraph, the location of the polygraph, what the angler ate for dinner the night before and the morning of the polygraph, and then the decisions. Do we really need to know it? I don't know. It's sad they can't talk fishing and they're pro fishermen. Yeah, listen. I've stated my case that I am against all info rules. I think they're dumb, with the exception of buying info. If cash is exchanged, I think then you go. All right, Cletus says, yes, they should all be public. Why do you think that, Cletus? Well, I guess my question is, why do we deserve to know? You say it should be made public. I'm just curious. And we'll cover, listen, I'm Switzerland. We'll go both ways. But as far as info rules, man, listen, I'm glad Clint and them were there the other day to shut me up, or I could have got somebody in some trouble without knowing it. But just because we talk about lakes and we talk about what's going on, I just think the pros ought to be able to get any info. Let it be anarchy with the exception of paying. And again, I know that's a very unpopular opinion. Transparency to the fans and the anglers. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Major League Baseball, the investigations and all that, they give us just enough info to be out there. They don't give us everything. Keeps anglers in line because their fans are aware of them messing up. But wouldn't we know it? I'm just saying, do we need to know the details? Like the really down and dirty details. You could say, okay, hey, angler A broke the no info rule, disqualified for that tournament. Period. End of story. But if you go on social media, guys want to know, what did he do? Who did he talk to? Does it matter at that point? Does it matter at that point? If you know how, you can lie through a polygraph very easily. My wife says I have a lying face. She says I have a lying face. She can look at me and I don't even have to say anything. She goes, I know you're lying and you're about to lie what you're going to say. That's what I mean. You can't have a general conversation with one about fishing because of that. I would have loved to pick Seth Feider's brain about Gunnersville because the time I went over there, it sucked for me, but I couldn't. I had a chance to learn something, but now I'm not going to, I can't have that conversation. I think that's unfortunate. You know what? I would have gained a competitive advantage had he told me. It would have helped me. There was nothing I could offer him that was going to help his ass. But I understand he can't. I understand he can't. I'm just really curious because, like, there's a ton of videos out there, and when you watch those videos, it kind of seems to me like they're demanding transparency. You know what I'm saying? Like they're demanding an answer from MLF, and I'm just like, what other companies? Because they are for-profit companies. What other companies out there in the world get demanded transparency by the public that much? We find out a guy did steroids in baseball, right? And generally, here's what you hear. You hear he was suspended. You hear the drug that was probably used, and that's it. He got 1 year ban. The only time you hear anything else out of Major League Baseball is if the player himself comes back and says, well, I didn't know it was a trainer. It was some kind of cream I put on my ass. I didn't know it had this in there. Didn't know it was banned. I'm sorry to all my fans and my teammates. I let you down. But that's it. We don't get a daggum 22-page explanation from Major League Baseball. But I was telling the guys this morning, and again, these are guys that don't fish, so they don't have any skin in the game whatsoever. And I told them, I mentioned they all had to take polygraphs. Every single one of these guys, common dudes, they golf, they do other things. They do not fish. They're like, why in the hell would you do a polygraph? It's not admissible in court. And I said, well, that's one of the big arguments, is that you can't, the polys aren't, but that's what fishing relies on. But that's kind of what they were all saying. Like they couldn't believe that fishing used polygraphs to determine if a person cheated or not. There are three sides to every story: yours, mine, and the truth, for sure. I wonder what kind of polygraph it is. They have two types for the military lifestyle and full scope. What was the name of that young man that won the EQ the other day? Was it Hanglin? Something like that, off the top of my head. I can see his face, can't remember. But there's a picture on Facebook. I saw it this morning of him sitting down. He's like, getting to take my first poly, and it's on his arm. So that's the only thing I saw hooked up was like he had his right arm down and he had like something wrapped on his arm right there. And he was sitting at a desk. And so, it just, I watched James Watson episode last night. He was fired up. I didn't watch it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just sitting there, okay, there is something wrapped to my arm, and that's going to determine whether I'm lying or not. The court doesn't trust him, yet someone can get their career ruined by one Dane Hunter. That's what I'm saying. And but I'm not even really arguing about the polygraph. I'm arguing about the guys on social media saying they want to know. We deserve to know. But do you? Caleb Hudson. Okay, yeah, it was his name. I knew it was an H or something. But do you? Do you deserve to know? The Epcot files or Epscot or whatever. Yeah, whatever the files. Who the hell knows? Redacted like crazy. I get you. My question is, if there's this many bad things going on in pro fishing, what's happening on a local level? But I don't feel like it's nowhere near as bad on a local level as a pro level. Jeremy, I would say this. I would say on the local level, probably a lot more of your minor little bitty rules get broke. No wake zone, maybe driving without a life jacket while the big motor's on. I mean, who's there to things like that. And then you get the occasional basket humper who puts some fish in a basket and stuff. But I think I bet you there's a bunch of minor things. Like a local club might have a rule you can't cull a dead fish. Okay. But I know a lot of anglers that has a fish hooked in the tongue or really bad and they know that fish is going to die. Never gets put in the live well. Yeah, technically it's not dead yet, but it's not in the live well. You just caught and killed a fish, threw it back just so you wouldn't have to, you know, because you can't cull a dead fish. But technically, if you didn't put it in your live well, you didn't cull it, right? Those kind of things. I just think that little knick-knack things, Jeremy. The pro level, because they have so much more rules. I mean, like in EBO, my electric only club, we don't have we have our rules, standard bass tournament rules, but we have a 1 week off period. Nothing about information, nothing like that. Because trust me, those guys, and I've done it myself, we call everybody. But you can't be on that body of water, which sucks in an electric only tournament when it comes to Lake Lanier. Like if we are going to fish out of Bald Ridge Marina, that is a pinky on the entire body of Lake Lanier. And so I can't go up to the northern part, say, Thompson Creek, where it's number one, it's totally different fishing and fishing my electric rig, or go fish any of my big boat. Guys wanted me to, hey, could you come be with my co-angler on a big boat tournament? And I was like, I can. I got an electric only one going out of Bald Ridge this Saturday. I would honestly say, hey, listen, you can't fish. If it were me, I'd say you can't fish the lower third of Lake Lanier. Go up north, do whatever the hell you want. But that's really the only rule we got. I wonder what happens if you have 10 Jaeger bombs and then take a polygraph. You might sell the truth too well. They also have, oh my Lord. Aaron says they also have a sensor for your butt on the chair if you pucker up in a poly. Are you being serious? Like, I've never taken a polygraph. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got caught lying in my life. It's very embarrassing. You have to say you're sorry. Don't do it again. But I've never had to take a poly. Very interesting. What do you think, Gabriel Edwards? What do you think about the 4-inch Sakamata? Well, they're good. We did a little thing. Back, what was it, guys? 3 months ago, where we had a tank on the live well one night, one of our Tuesday, Thursday night shows, and we were jiggling things in that tank with the camera on it just to show the action. Sakamata shad, ridiculously soft, great tail movement. If you sit there and just, even the littlest vibration really gives off a lot of movement. So yeah, if you can get your hands on the Sakamatas, 100% fish it. Patricia, let's see. Patricia said, do you think these organizations release their schedule too early? No, because I do think with the amount of travel and everything, anglers have to plan, especially those that that fish multiple trails and all that kind of stuff. And there's some things that you got to do. Plus, it keeps other events from happening and stuff. So no, I don't know. 50-50 one way or the other. I really don't know about that one. Now, Dane Hunter says, Dane throwing out the info today. There are 2 categories for disqualification. Number 1, actual rules violation, kill switch, life jacket, wake zone 2. Number 2, cheating, fish in the basket, information rules, etc. I agree with you. You're 100% correct. But even if a guy gets disqualified because he didn't have his life jacket on or kill switch, I still don't think Bass has to answer to me about it. And so that's just the whole thing. It gets annoying watching. And granted, it is YouTube, it is social media, and everybody needs the clicks, right? Oh yeah, let me throw this out there for you. Who was that, real quick? Gabriel Edwards. I want you to go to Crossbait Co. and look up their Sakayama shad. I believe I said that right, Danny, right? Sakayama shad. Very similar. Check it out. Okay, I've watched some videos. I have not thrown it, but I have watched some videos on it. And Danny put that out there on TikTok. Go check it out. I think it'd be pretty cool. Purdue. Iaconelli called dying fish, I think, at Kissimmee. TD said if they aren't dead yet, he could. Tournament director. Yeah, I know, and you can. But that's that gray area, right? That's a gray area. Oh, he's talking about in the military. Aaron was with that pucker butt thing. I have poor man's Sakamata called the wing fluke. I get it. Of course, we had that on the night. Just Zoom. The wing fluke does not have the softness, the action of a sakamata, but catches tons of fish, right? Hunter says, taken plenty of polygraph tests, never had anything on or under my butt. Voice stress analysis is the new thing versus a polygraph test. Well, Dane, I think I could bullshit my way through a lot of stuff, but I'd love to. I would love to take one just for the fun of it. I'd let you and Tim hook me up, and y'all could ask the questions, and give me a couple of them that are off the wall, so you would know that he's got to be lying. I don't know. I'm pretty truthful. I'd probably tell you the truth, but I'd be curious to see if I could pass it out. What's up, Farmer? Farmer, I sent you a message on Facebook. Check it out, please, if you could. Now, Cletus is talking about putting out the schedule and all that too early. He's talking about with the sponsors and activations and planning and support, it's important to have it a year out. And that makes sense. And these days, there's so much money and different things involved. Yeah, like I said, they can put out their schedule for the next 10 years, but at least say, hey, fix that info rule. So if you got a schedule, if you're fishing Lanier 5 years down the road, like the no info just needs to start at some point reasonable, right? Coleman, homegrown jigs and Bogart make some dang good sakamata dupes. Okay, there you go. We all know who had the best craw in the tank that night. Alex, even though you can't do it verbally, go ahead and type it. I'm just going to do your shout out. Let you type it right there. Boil the flukes, and you'd be surprised how much softer it makes them. Jeremy, that's we've talked about that too. A lot of guys boil them to straighten them out. You shouldn't have to. You ain't gonna have to ever boil a sakamata. Slick Johnson said ours are the closest to the texture and feel that he's seen. There you go. It's high praise. Crossbait Co. Sock your mama, Shad. Now listen. Now Danny, did Slick charge a fee for that? Slick got to make his money somehow, right? I'm just playing with you, but no, it very well could. I don't know. I was just kind of thinking that I just get annoyed at all the social media guys acting like they deserve the answer. And of course, let me read this out for Alex Purrs, the Tactical Fishing Co. Combat Crawl for the win. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me ask you this question. This is more of a fun one. We've talked about this a little bit too before, but I thought it'd be interesting to bring it back up. With the Toys for Tots tournament coming up, if we were to have walk-up music for you as you come to this stage, what would your walk-up music, you and your partner, what would your walk-up music be? Would it be a rap song? Would it be some classic rock? What would it be? Would you go with Crazy Train like Chipper Jones, or would you go with that daggum trumpet-ass song that the guy up for the New York Mets plays? That da 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 dun 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 dun. I don't know. Tyler says probably a Diddy song. You probably would. Farmer says there's a lot of gray area in competitive fishing. Biggest thing it comes down to the angler and their interpretation of the rule. It comes down to character, and are you willing to bend the rules? I get it. What I'm saying. Allison Chains, interesting. Okay, Allison Chains. Van Halen, that would be mine. Everybody knows that. I'm just wondering about something like Dane Hunter. Danny Perdue out there. Let's take some of you older gentlemen. What would be the walk-up song to an old person? Now, Coleman Jones says Haunted House by Treaty Oak or Hell's Bells. Hell's Bells is boring. Gore Pig. Yeah, that's John. Listen, I told you John Aldred was one of the nicest SOBs I've ever met in my entire life. But gosh, dog, he listens to some strange ass music. I can't even understand the words going on in some of that stuff. Scares me, and I don't get scared easy. Back in Black, Captain Morgan. Come on, we gotta think outside the box. There'll be like 40 of you guys coming out to Back in Black. Come on, think of something. Give me an alternative to Back in Black. Dane Hunter would be the Bad Boys theme with the cops. Allison Chains is good. I watched them. They opened up for Van Halen one year. I believe it was the Balance Tour. Kill Switch Engaged. The End of Heartache would be my walkout song. I might go back and try to listen to some of these songs you guys are throwing out there. Taylor Swift, Picture to Burn. Cletus, that does not, honestly, that is, that probably suits you. Now, here's Coleman Jones. Okay, since I can do this, this is Coleman Jones' walk-up song. Where is it at? He said they'd laugh. That would just be it. Dixieland Delight. Good grief. Whiskey Myers the Wolf, Old Dirty Cracker. For Whom the Bell Tolls is a good tune. Hang On Sloopy. How old are you, Patricia? How old are you? Hang on, Sloopy, Sloopy, hang on. Come on, give me an age. Borat movie intro song. That's hilarious. You know, kids at Little League baseball games now got walkout songs. It's crazy. My song would be Not As Good As I Once Was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. Got a little Toby Keith going for Dane Hunter. I think, you know what? I might do this. I might think about this over the weekend. And knowing all your personalities, I might choose a walk up song for each of you. That might be what I do on Monday. Not Monday, excuse me, Tuesday. I might say, all right, here's what I'm assigning each of you. And I can tell your age by a lot of these songs. Little Bitty by Alan Jackson for my weigh-ins. I get it. That would be mine if it was about that. Don't Fear the Reaper, Blue Oyster Cult, Mike Geiger. He going old school. Now, Coleman says EA by Young Nudie. I don't even know who the hell that is. All right. I fished Lanier for 46 years. Okay, well then, yeah, Sloopy suits you. Okay, good. Cashmere by Led Zeppelin. You know what? I'm just not an AC/DC fan. I'm not an AC/DC fan. But I think just I'm gonna probably write down, and if I forget you, I'm sorry, but I'm going to probably write down about 20, 25 of you guys and just kind of think about some of the things I've learned about you guys and what I found out. And I think I am going to choose your walkout songs. You know, Farmer. Hey, listen, Farmer, that, you know, I was scrolling through my picks on my phone last night. I was looking for a certain pick, and I got that one. I got the one where I got two of them on Farmer. One was where he's standing there in his Pulse jig jersey and everything. That was right when I first met him. But the other is I've got 3 or 4 videos. I can't get it out of my mind. I was there personally that day of you and Ryan basically bear hugging in front of me. And those pics are still on my phone, and I am saving them. I'm saving them for the right time. God is going to cut you down, Johnny Cash. It's a good tune. Play a nursery rhyme for me and Tyler since we're so young. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm married to an older woman, so Older Women by Ronnie McDowell. Is my age showing? Hell yeah, it is, dang. It is showing. But I mean, I knew that already, right? I like AC/DC with Bon Scott, but can't stand them with Brian Johnson. Hell, they sound the same to me. Whatever. But you know what? It's funny. People are like that. The same thing with Van Halen. You got the guys that like David Lee Roth, and you got the guys that like Sammy. And for some freaking reason in the world, you're supposed to choose one or the other. And I always say the correct answer when somebody comes with that question, they go, Dave or Sammy. And I'm like, the correct answer is Eddie. I didn't listen to it for the lead singer. But I get that. We need that sound Danny just made as a sound effect. I don't know. I could try. I could record some someday. That'd be very, very bad. You guys, let's see. Young Gravy would be up there on my list too. Probably Mr. Clean. I don't know any of these new fandangled rappers. I am so out of the loop on modern music. Frankenstein by Edgar Winters. Oh my Lord, dude. The Gambler, Kenny Rogers. Aaron, I don't think okay, let me rephrase that. Makes sense now. Van Halen, not Van Hagar. It's all Van Halen. Personally, I would go with Enter Sandman. There you go. Clint likes Young Gravy because he likes MILFs. If it's a team tournament and I'm fishing with Alex, you have the song. Yeah, listen, I wish I could bring that back. I get demonetized. I still got it. But I had Dane and Alex Pierce on live well a long time ago and made them sing Islands in the Stream, which I will give Dane. Listen, I'll give Dane some credit. Dane carried that night. Alex just couldn't. number one, he can't sing worth the crap anyway. Not that Dane was going to win, CMA Music Entertainer of the Year award, but Dane at least tried to sing it. He at least tried to sing it. Al, Pierce just kind of he murdered that. Can we have Danny perform Rihanna? I don't even know who the hell that is. He's a MILF slayer indeed. Young Gravy is 6'7" white guy from Minnesota. Okay. Free Fall and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Alex, go back to work. See it. Yeah, interesting what you guys think would be that. Now, Jay Giles Band, the very first record I ever bought, the very first 45, the small record, guys. I know you young guys have no what the hell is a 45, the small record, was Jay Giles Band's Centerfold. Now, I remember my mom taking me to the store. I'd heard the song. I said, I want to buy that. She, oh, yeah, whatever. Not a clue as to what that song was about. Not a clue as to what that song was about. But, hey, that happened so many times back when I was young. I mean, I bought the 2 Live Crew. And the album I'm talking about. I bought that. My mom didn't have a clue as to what that was. She had no idea the things that were dementing her young boy. Because back then we were latchkey kids. Hey, we got on a bus. We came home. Both parents were working. They didn't get home like 5:30, 6 o'clock. We chased all the little girls around the neighborhood until 5 o'clock. Then we had to run in there and do our chores before Dad got home at 5:30. And then once they were home, we went right back out and chased them some more. They had no clue as to what was going on, or either they didn't care. Could have been a little bit of both. Low Key Everybody by Young Dolph would go hard. The cover of the Rolling Stones' Dr. Hook, or Shove It by the Deftones. Tim McGuire would play Who Shot the Sheriff. I think 2-pack would work for me, especially since my dad is fighting the TFT with me. Probably Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. I'm not a big rap guy, but I do like the way he sounds. I'll take that back. I will take Drunken Sailor. I'm thinking some Young Jeezy, 2 Live, or 3 Sis Mafia. Now, I like 2 Live. I mean, I know 2 Live. Band in the USA. I ain't going to sing the other songs that we sang. But I do remember that. Uncle Luke, right? He's the one that kind of got Miami in all the trouble, too. A little bit behind the scenes money and everything. If you were hanging out back then with Uncle Luke in Miami, you know what was going on. Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. I put on 3 milligrams Zen Mafia. That's what I should call you guys, the Zen Mafia. But you guys do the 3 milligrams because you're kind of weak, and that's kind of like y'all were in the like low end of the swimming pool. You ain't out here with the adults yet. That's right, Nathan. That's what I was picturing. Oh yeah. I don't know. Interesting. Nobody picking Afro Man. I love that song. I was gonna go to court, but then I got high. I can't sing worth the crap. Love that song. I would play that at the shop all the time. I'm not doing David Allen. David Allen Cole gets overplayed. I like him, but he gets overplayed. And I think he really just, he really lives off that one song. But Afro Man, listen. What was that? What movie was that in? Because you got the 2 guys. I forget the movie. Yeah. It's a good tune. My wife doesn't like me listening to that in the house. Georgia Ray C. Norman Greenbaum's Spirit in the Sky. Now you're going really old, Danny Perdue. I like that song, but good Lord. I could see that song being played like at an insurance convention or something like that. I was trying to run my scope, but then I got high. Oh, dear Lord. I wish I could sing, guys. I really do. But it's interesting. You guys throwing out some good ones, but I can tell your age. But I'm going to do that. That's going to be my homework. I'm going to write it down right now. Choose walk up tunes. And I'm going to go based upon, and listen, here, it'll be kind of like a game. I'm going to go based upon what I know of you guys, and we'll see if I nail it. Some of you are going to be a little tougher than others. I know just a little bit. Some of you I know very well. It's going to be pretty easy to pick some of them. Wilbotron, I got to run sound for Roman once and David Allen Coe twice. Afro Man rode up to the stage in a pickup that had like a 5-foot lift and hydraulic lift step to get him down from the cab. Crazy. That's pretty cool. Now, Jess says, I'm about your age, Danny, so choose wisely. I know. Coleman WAP. Like, I didn't even know what that stood for because I never heard the song. And I remember my family was sitting in there. And I don't know, I was scrolling TikTok and somebody was doing something. I looked at all of them. So I had my 2 daughters, my son and his wife and my wife. And I'm like, what the hell's WAP mean? And they all just went, no. Of course, I didn't know LOL meant lol for the longest time. So I'm like, hey, look, he typed me. Man, that really was funny. Lol. Lol. I would say something there. I'm like totally uncool when it comes to that. 1,000 Miles, Vanessa Carlton. Ryan Andrew Sheffield would play Who Let the Dogs Out. I can tell you what Ryan would play. It'd be, if I had a theme song for Ryan, it'd be one of two things. It'd be something by Metallica because he loves Metallica. Or what is that heavy metal band out of Germany? Rammstein? He likes him some Rammstein, if I'm pronouncing that right. I just trust me, I know that because when Ryan when he was downstairs tying jigs, he had some speakers down there, and it means wet a popper, a spro popper. That's what WAP means. Sure, it does. Four Horsemen by Metallica is awesome, but I'd listen to Ryan. The problem with listening to Ryan is he'd sing, and he can carry a tune. He can sing, but when he's down there by himself, he would get over enthusiastic. So, and he's very eclectic. So 1 minute you got this Rammstein German going on, and he's down there singing in German, and then the very next song would be "In the Jungle, the Mighty," and he would try to sing it that high. And I'm sitting up there, I'm trying to concentrate upstairs, and I'm like, just what in the hell is wrong with him? And when Jeff Blauser, you guys remember Jeff Blauser, the shortstop for the Braves, when he'd come in the shop, I remember the first time Ryan was down there, and I was sitting there, and me and Jeff Blauser were sitting there talking, and a couple other guys, and Ryan's down there just jamming, and it was Metallica stuff, and then all of a sudden that "In the Jungle" song come out, and Ryan had no clue. Jeff Blauser, one of his, kind of childhood heroes, was upstairs, had no clue. And he goes to just screaming, laying it down, dude. I mean, it was the most high-pitched, Bigfoot gurgle you have ever heard in your entire life. And Blauser's looking at me like, what the hell, dude? I'm like, yeah, I got him tied up. It's that damn freak from the Goonies. He's downstairs in the basement. He's down there jamming. We'll slide him some food downstairs in a little bit. But then I had a guy go down there and tell Ryan. He goes down there, right? Like I said, right? It's blood curdling what he's doing. And then, what's his name? Sammy Benitez goes down there and says, "I said, go get Ryan. Go get Ryan and tell him Jeff Blauser is up here." And Sammy's from Cuba. He don't know who in the hell Jeff Blauser is. He goes, "Who?" I said, "Go tell Ryan Jeff Blauser's up here." So Sammy walks down the stairs and he goes, "Hey Ryan, hey Ryan, hey Ryan." I can't even do a Spanish voice, Cuban voice. "Hey Ryan." And all of a sudden you see the thing, you hear the music turn down. He goes, "What?" That's just the way Ryan would answer. He goes, "I wish I could do a Spanish voice. Jeff Blauser? Jeff Blauser's upstairs." And Ryan goes, "Who?" And he goes, "Jeff Blauser." And you could hear Ryan go, "Holy shit." And you just hear this behemoth of a man coming up the stairs at 152 miles an hour. Because I told Blauser, I said, listen, he was getting ready to leave. I said, listen, that guy downstairs, the Goonie guy downstairs, if he knew that you were up here and I didn't go tell him and let him meet you, he'd probably sit on me. And he would probably just hate me for the rest of my life. And he goes, sure. Y'all, if you know Ryan is a big boy. 6'6", 6'7", something like that. He's a thick guy. He was an athlete back in his day, but he gained a little bit in adult life. he probably would run a 6.5 40 right now. He come up them stairs at 152 miles an hour, arms are waving, come up to Jeff Blauser. Jeff probably kind of flinched a little bit, thinking he was getting ready to get bear hugged, and Ryan's like, "Oh my God, I'd love to meet you. You great." And you know, he said, "Yeah, Tyler, chill." He signed some autographs. Great guys. They still talk from time to time and all that. I talk to Blauser about once or twice a year. We'll text and stuff like that. Does Ryan know where the female Bigfoot are at? Ryan believes in Bigfoot. He can tell you all of the knocking patterns when they hit the trees. He can do the most blood curdling Bigfoot scream that you've ever heard in your life. He likes it, but boy, Blauser just made his day and all that. So 6'7", you say, that's my favorite number. And Ryan is a good guy. That's what I'm saying. You guys know how big Farmer is. I got a picture of Farmer and Ryan like bear hugging each other. It's just seared in my memory. But Ryan's a good guy, but no, he'd get down there, he would jam. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to pick out your walkout songs, and I'm gonna actually put some thought into it. And we'll see if it matches. Tuesday, you gotta be here Tuesday to find out. So with that, listen again. Live well tonight. I am working on a guest right now, but at the least it'll be the crew there, and we'll have some fun. Farmer, me and Ryan can't hide on the lake when we're in the boat together. I can't believe the damn boat is daggone like even rocking with you two guys. But no, great guys. I love both you guys. You know that. I've also been playing for 50 years. Rack them up. That's why you always talk about pool. I thought it was like a fetish or something. Yeah, I didn't know that you really do play pool. You probably have come across my brother-in-law, William Perkins. He likes to play those pool tournaments and stuff. Bass and Behemoths, that's what it is. So tonight, you guys come. I know there'll be a football game on. Turn the football on and turn the volume down. Jordan Lee is on Lanier right now. I should text him. Said, what are you doing, dude? Is he with Kaz? Anyway, you gotta go to sleep. You guys come back tonight, 8 o'clock. We'll have a good time. No lunch break tomorrow. I like that 4-day break, Friday and Monday, from doing things like that. And then we get back and we rock it, right? We'll do that. But come tonight. Come hang out with us tonight. I want to try to talk and start the conversation on ditch fishing. I want to go ahead and get ahead of the game since some guys are already reporting it. But I want to try to find some different things, Let's talk about other than just throwing something. Let's try to find some different stuff, maybe some variations. And you know how the conversation might be. It might go anywhere at any time. But you guys, seriously, come hang out with me tonight. If you're on TikTok, go to YouTube tonight at Fish North Georgia and hang out with us. So, guys, have a great rest of your day. Do not work too hard, but get home safe. We'll see you guys tonight. So, get rid of my TikTok guys first. See you, TikTok. There you go. You YouTube guys. Love you guys. I'll see you later.